adventurers. Welcome to Endless Fridays with Nina, the travel podcast where we inspire, share, and explore the world of travel. I'm your host, travel enthusiast, and chief daydreamer, Nina, and I'm thrilled to have you join me. Today we have a special treat for you. We are going to switch things up here. Aaron from Travel Jones is going to take the lead and put me into the hot seat today. So sit back and see what questions he has about my recent visit to San Antonio, Texas. Please give him a warm virtual welcome to Aaron from Travel Jones.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for having me back on this show. Um, like Nina says, I am Aaron, traveler, blogger, vlogger, and travel agent. I'm looking forward to talking about San Antonio and seeing all the highlights and talking about all the wonderful things that you did while you were there. Nina,
So,
I think
thank
you get this.
So thanks, Aaron. I'm glad that you were able to join me again for another episode here. So welcome, welcome. I appreciate you. I am going to just replay the San Antonio, Texas top 10 highlights that I had posted so that we can watch it together. I might make a few comments, but then we'll let you get into your questions with me. All
Sounds
right.
great.
So
Sounds great.
I'm going to start the video. So top 10, these are all things that I did in San Antonio. And I just did a rank order. Casa Rio restaurant, oldest restaurant on the Riverwalk. Mexican. I love to eat. Bubble gum is always on the list if there is one. The Japanese Garden, that was recommended. Again, I love to eat voodoo donut. That made my list. The Riverwalk. This is the main attraction for a lot of travelers. The Alamo. Very historic. Union Pacific train ride at the zoo. That was nice. And the San Antonio Zoo was very nice. And then the river cruise, you have to do that on the Riverwalk. The Chart House restaurant, again, you're gonna see me highlighting food. But the Chart House restaurant is a great place. You can see the whole view of San Antonio. All right, so I'm gonna get us back on full screen here.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay.
Wow. So traveling, there's boxes that I'm looking to check. I mean, whether it's culture, cuisine, experiences, uh, like even taking a tour or doing something like that. What was it about San Antonio that said this is my next spot?
So San Antonio was not my pick. My mom and my aunt, they were actually celebrating a milestone birthday, and that was on their bucket list. So they wanted something local. Well, I shouldn't say local, but something still in North America, and they wanted something that was not a long plane ride. So they landed on the Riverwalk. They had heard a lot about the Riverwalk, and then I was on board just because it was their birthday, but I did a lot of research on San Antonio San Antonio area, and man, they have so much to do there. So I landed there by chance just because that was on their bucket list. And it was a great choice. It was a great trip.
So by chance, that's great. So you said the Riverwalk. Can you tell me about that? Like, are there a bunch of restaurants around there? Is there hotels? I mean, what is it to do around there on the Riverwalk?
So The Riverwalk is part of it goes in the downtown area, and it has everything you can think of. It has shops, it has bars, it has restaurants. We stopped at Bubba Gump. Bubba Gump is on the Riverwalk. Um, Margaritaville. We had a drink at Margaritaville. So they have more chain restaurants, but then they also have local type of restaurants where it's not like a major food chain. So I like that. They do have some hotels directly on the Riverwalk. They have hotels off of the Riverwalk. So you might have the hotel just above on the street of the Riverwalk, so you can have views of the Riverwalk. But they do have some hotels that are actually on the Riverwalk. It's almost like designed on the same level, if you will. So it's like you have a street level with the Riverwalk, and then you have like your main street where you're driving the cars. Um, what else? They have a mall. They have a mall on the Riverwalk. We saw in the video they had the Go Rio Riverwalk cruise. So you can hop on a boat and listen to just the history. They have a art park on the Riverwalk. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Like they have a lot of things on the Riverwalk, and we probably walked I would say a span of 3 or 4 miles, but I think the total Riverwalk itself spans like it's like 8 or 10 miles. So we didn't even see the whole Riverwalk. So it goes in the downtown, but then it goes out of the downtown too. Hmm.
So you're saying you'll definitely get your step in. You
Yes.
turning up.
Yes. Yes. So I had over 10,000 steps every day when I was in San Antonio.
Right.
So, yeah, easily.
So staying fit is easy
Yes.
to do.
Yes.
Granted, you're not eating too much of all the lovely deliciousness that I know is out there. Okay, so you were saying that there's some restaurants out there that are not chains. Did you go to any of those?
So, that was actually on the list. It was number 10 on the list.
Ah, okay, okay.
Yes, that was the Mexican restaurant. It is the oldest restaurant in that downtown area. It's the first restaurant that was built. It was um I can't remember what year now. It's been a couple months since that was fresh in my mind, but I want to say in the yeah, let me not guess. I'm not going to guess. Um
So it's on your blog too, right?
Yeah,
I saw that you
it's
had it all on your
yep,
blog.
it is on my blog. And like I said, it's also in the vlog on the top 10 list, but it's number 10 on the list. And actually in our background that we have here for our show, you can see the view. So um so you have the option to sit out on the patio, and you can see um the river boats going past, and mostly the river boats are just for the tours. So
Okay.
I don't remember seeing anything outside of the tour boats, and I believe they had gondolas out there as well.
Oh,
Yeah. So but other than that, there's no like, hey, I'm gonna get my boat and get on the river walk, and no, none of that. So yeah.
and so uh, what was the most memorable part that you had to come up with? Maybe a top two or three.
Hmm. Okay. So I would say that's a hard one.
Oh, I know it's a general question, but think about maybe the best food you had while you were there. What was the best cuisine that you may have tasted, or was there best cuisine?
So the
It was
best
all good.
it it was all good, but the Chop House, I think that was number one on my list. They had the
Okay.
best food. You can go there for lunchtime and get like a happy hour deal. Just being transparent, it is a pricey restaurant, but it's pricey because you are eating from the tower. So
Mm,
it has a 360 rotation, similar to what they have in downtown Detroit, where
Detroit. Okay.
you're sitting in the restaurant and you're dining, and then by the time you finish dining, you have taken a whole view of the downtown San Antonio area. So
That's interesting.
that's uh, I think that's why it's pricey. I mean, pretty elegant, so you can have a dress up type of dinner there. But I would highly recommend the happy hour there because you get good prices on food. And then if you wanted to dine into the full entree or the dinner menu, you can certainly do that in the lunch hour, but I like the prices that they offered for the lunch hour. Um, what was it? I want to say crab mac and cheese. Ooh, delicious.
Taste says it all.
Delicious. So I think out of all of the meals, that was like my top. The crab mac and cheese at Chop House, on the tower. Let's try. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Mm. I need to get down there and do a vlog myself and see these wonderful places. Now, I was wondering, did you by chance happen to see the Air Force Base there, Lackland Air Force Base?
So I did not, but I was
Okay.
actually visiting on March 6th. So apparently, it is a big thing for the anniversary of the victory of the Alamo site. So
Yes.
there were tons of just I'm gonna say service people down there. So I mean, I saw Navy, veterans. I mean, there were just, I mean, that's the spot to be, apparently down there on March 6th. It was a whole weekend thing. And then they had special offerings at the Alamo for the anniversary of the victory. So it was if you are interested in seeing the Alamo, I would highly recommend that you go and visit around March 6th because you can catch some extra things if you're really into the history and want to get something extra special, you get that during that time. So that was nice for us.
Mhm. Now, is this something that you have to pay for, or can you just go and it's just there and open for everybody to visit?
So at the Alamo site, you do have to pay to go in. They have a few exhibits outside of the Alamo if you didn't want to pay, but in order to see, I guess the meat and potatoes, you do have to pay. And I
Okay.
can't remember. I believe it was probably around 14 or $15, I believe. And then they also have a Alamo Museum that they had under construction when I went there in March, and it's supposed to be completed in a couple years. So they're actually expanding.
Wonderful.
Hmm.
Wonderful.
It
Wow.
I
Okay.
was gonna
So
say too, it reminded me a little bit of um in Michigan, like our Mackinac Island, because they did
okay.
have some demonstrations on the Alamo site as well. So with the um not with the not with the cannons, but with the rifles. I feel like there's another term for it. The older rifles with the
Muskets that do
yes,
that.
yes, yes. There you go. Yes. So they had a demo, and I actually saw a woman shooting. So yeah, it was nice. It
Okay.
was a good time.
Oh, wonderful. The way you talk about this place, I feel like I need to go there right now. Um, the nightlife. Did you experience any of that at all?
It is totally busy at night.
Yeah.
It that is their spot at night. So if you're talking about like where I'm from, happy hour is probably around 5, 6 o'clock for them, at least during the weekday. I was there partially during the week and partially during the weekend. So I did get a chance to see, the nightlife during the week and during the weekend. And their happy hour starts later than ours. So if you're going out for a happy hour around 5 or 6, you'll be fine. It's not really crowded. But
Okay.
7 and 8, it's very crowded on a Riverwalk. I mean, you have people out eating. The bars are full. They have entertainment. So just yeah,
Okay.
if nightlife is your thing, they have horse and carriage rides. If you want to get the romance thing on, they have all kinds of stuff. There are tons of things to do during the day and at night. hmm
So it sounds like you are not left wanting for anything if you go to San Antonio.
I would agree. I would agree. And that's just on the Riverwalk. We haven't even talked
Yeah.
outside of the Riverwalk.
Yeah, yeah, this is true.
hmm
So, what other places can you tell me about, like around downtown and the Riverwalk? Where did you go around there?
So, um, the Chop House Tower restaurant that I mentioned, that's in the
Right.
downtown, but it's not near the Riverwalk. So it's actually
Okay.
a far walk from the Riverwalk. So I really would suggest trying to take your rental car or hop a taxi ride unless you want to get in a lot of steps. I remember it being very hot and we kept saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" So it was a long walk. I feel like it was definitely more than 20 minutes. Seems like it was a long way. So that would be my recommendation, just like in that vicinity. So another thing that I would recommend, you definitely have to take a taxi ride though, is the Japanese garden and the zoo. So
Oh, that's right.
when you
Using videos about
yes,
that, yeah.
so when you talk to the locals, they will mention just a beautiful Japanese garden. I have to admit, I did compare it to another Japanese garden that I went to in Florida. This one was a lot smaller, so my expectation was higher than I think some folks on the trip, just because I've seen a very extensive Japanese garden in Florida. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a beautiful sight, a very relaxing and beautiful sight for taking pictures. So I definitely
Oh,
would recommend travelers to visit that site, and it is free. So and it's on the same grounds as the San Antonio Zoo. So I know that I have mentioned in the past that zoos are my thing. So when I can travel somewhere and hit a zoo, um, I definitely try to do that when I can. And this one was nice because, again, you can go to the Japanese garden for free. And then on the same grounds area, you can literally walk to get to the San Antonio Zoo entrance. And then they also have the train ride, which was on there. So you do have to pay a fee for the train ride, and then you can see a little view of San Antonio from the train ride, and then you can hit the zoo. So if you are there with a family, or if you're like me and you just want to hit the major sites and you like a good zoo, that's definitely a good spot to go. Now, I've also heard about Six Flags. I did not know there was a Six Flags in San Antonio. So
Yeah.
if I ever go back, you know about it?
Yeah, well, last time I went, I was like 8 years old, so I'm
Okay.
sure it's changed. But yeah, I'd like to see it again.
Okay. So, but I mean, it's definitely an area that offers a lot. Entertainment, plenty of restaurants. Um, the Six Flags, like I said, I haven't been there, but they do have a Six Flags there, so you can venture off there for some more family fun. The weather was hot, so I mean, if you, yeah,
About
it was hot. It was in the 90s, so it was hot.
90.
Yes,
Wow.
90s.
Okay. So,
That was in March, but honestly,
so can you see this? I don't know if it shows up. Can you see this?
yes, yes. The Arctic Air neck fan. Woo,
Yeah.
woo.
I'm just showing you that, hey, I'm a fan and I follow you, and I've gotten some of the products that you recommended, and that thing is nice.
Okay. So
Good
again,
recommendation.
you will like that product, and actually I'm going to drop that in the link when I make the video post here, so the viewers will be able to, if they want to get an Arctic Air neck fan, that has come in quite handy for me. I recently had recommended it to another traveler that I know, and she went to Greece and Turkey, and she was like, I love this. I am so glad you told me about it. So it's great. You'll love it. You'll love it. I promise. Um, so yes, believe it or not, I did not take my neck fan on that trip because I was trying to keep all of my travel bags just to a carry-on. So I didn't have room for that, unfortunately. But I wish I did because it was in the 90s. But I do remember there was a big shift in the weather. So the very last day, believe it or not, it was in the 30s and it felt like it was in the 20s. So we went, yes. So we went
You went
from,
from 90 to 30?
yes,
Did you get
yes,
sick?
yes, I did. I did get sick. I sure did get sick.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy.
Don't remind me, but yes, I did get sick.
Okay.
So, but that was out of the norm. But if you travel in March or April, I would make sure that you bring a sweatshirt or a light jacket or something just in case. Knowing in the forecast that it was going to be in the 90s, I did not have a jacket. So,
Mm.
and I was not the only one there with no jacket. So it was very cold.
Oh, it kind of, I'm a little surprised that you didn't have a jacket. Let me tell you why. It's because for me, I get cold on the airplane.
Mm. Hmm.
And I always get a chill, so I keep a jacket with me all the time. So that tells me you travel without a jacket from time to time.
So when I say, okay, so when I say jacket, I mean like a heavy jacket. So if I
Oh,
know that I'm going somewhere warm, I will have a light jacket. But I'm telling you, a light jacket, mm-mm. No, no,
That
no,
wasn't gonna cut it there.
no, no, no. It felt like Michigan weather.
30 degrees.
It felt like Michigan weather. It was, I mean, it was crazy, and a lot of people had on shorts because that's all they packed. So, yeah. So just,
Makes sense.
yeah. But usually I'll do like a jean jacket. The ladies probably know what I'm talking about, like a jean jacket or just a light jacket so that you can fold up. Nothing heavy. No, I'm not bringing a winter jacket if I know I'm in 90-degree weather, but a winter jacket would have came in handy that last day. I get cold on the plane too. So, yes.
Or just experience that comes along with travel. You might run into something that you're really not prepared for. So
Expecting. Yep.
it happens. It happens to the best of us.
Yes. It didn't rain. It did not rain at all. It was just that last day was very cold. Yeah.
That's all the questions I have. I mean, I'd love to get down to San Antonio and do a video there myself, and definitely check out all those places that you listed because they sound wonderful. Definitely the food. I'm a foodie as well. I don't talk about it as much, but I'm there with you on the food. But thank you for having me.
Oh, you are.
So I don't know.
Yep. You
Uh, Go
you
ahead. I'm sorry.
You are very welcome. I hope that I answered all of your questions about San Antonio, and then I hope that my viewers got some more insight on my travels to San Antonio. Again, feel free to check out the video on YouTube with my top 10 highlights on at least the experiences that I had. Like I was sharing with Aaron, so many things to do there. I do plan to go back. I would also say that if you have a child or if you are practicing Spanish, that is like if you want to go somewhere local, just when I say local, I'm saying Americans wanting like a quick spot to practice travel. Again, I think that's a good place to take your kids, or if you are trying to brush up on your own Spanish, it's a good spot to do it. So, a lot of Spanish speaking folks there. Um, so I think that's it. And there you have it, YouTube family. A big shout out to Aaron from Travel Jones. Thank you so much for stopping through. Until next time, keep those passports handy and your hearts wide open. This is Nina signing off from Endless Fridays. Live like every day is Friday.
Ciao, ciao. Okay, Nina. So,
So what?
well, after we've had all these technical difficulties, uh, what?
Birthday in March and they wanted to go there. That was on their bucket list. Okay. You have disappeared again. You have disappeared.
I hear you. I hear you. Okay. All right. Uh, this is
Yep. Okay, I gotta pause that. I gotta pause that.